Basically, you run your gun to the wire. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Kyle with KBG Welding. We are messing with a Miller 211, Millermatic 211. We are putting liner and gun. Welders need to know how to change the liner in a MIG gun and how to change a gun out, right? So we got our gun here. I think this is a 250 MDX 100 or something or another, but it's a new gun, and our liner is new, but we got too much of it. So what we have to do after you get everything, you get the liner in. So this is a new liner that's installed already. Now we have all this excess, which this was for a longer gun. This is your standard, I think it's 12 foot. This is gonna be a 15 foot liner. So what we need to do when you're installing one of these, what you need to do is you need to shake it out and make sure that your liner is in there and not at a long state. You want to have it the longest as possible, because when you twist your gun, what happens is it pulls this liner in and it kind of shortens it, and then you have issues. Usually the issues that occur are right in here at this transition from your wire to your liner, and it gets hung up and it breaks off. Then you find yourself having to go back to reload it because the wire broke, and especially with your flux core, your inner shield wire. So what we're going to do is we got this lined out, and we've got our wire cutters. We're going to cut it a little long the first time, kind of get us, so we kind of get a visual of where our liner is ending. So we'll cut it a little long and we'll put it where it needs to go. And a trick is, we'll just throw it in there first. If we put it in there, and that's going to be too long, so we'll cut that down. And that still might be a little bit too much, but the trick is when you have your wire, if you have it out here as opposed to trying to feed it in there, it saves you some time. So you feed it in and you run your wire. Basically, you run your gun to the wire. You connect it to the wire. And you can let that go. And that's too much. So if you see here, you got our liner. We're too far. We don't need to be on this track. We want to be behind the track, but pretty close to it, okay? So once we get it full, it's over our track. So we don't want that. So that equals too long. So we'll take another chunk out. Feed it the same way. And now we are, we're just a hair. See that? We're just a hair again. We're on our roller, which we don't want that to happen. But you don't want it to be cut too short. So go ahead and take your precautions if you need to make sure that you don't have it too short. Because life is too short. Some of y'all too short fans out there. Back in the day. I don't listen to them anymore, but back in the day. Ooh, and we're close, and we'll try that. Let me plug this in. You got our connector. I have to find our 2-prong connector, see where we're supposed to go. So that way. This thing's kind of, where we at? One goes up here. There it is. All right, so we got that. Tighten that in, and I think we're still on our roller a little bit too much. So we just barely have a little section to free. Well, that should be good. And roll it out. Plugged in. Still good there. Lock it in there, and that's your MIG gun is ready to go. New liner. Just be careful. Be sure not to walk on it. Walking on it not that bad, but when you have a sharp impact, that's when it damages your liner. So this is what your liner, for those of y'all that like to step on them, like to bend them, like to put the corner of the machine on them. It's like a conduit. Once it gets in that tight spot, it's you know, it pinches, and then it's pretty much no good anymore. It has to fight to get through that resistance. If it's off a little bit, it hits the side of your conduit looking stuff here. So so just pay attention when you're dealing with this, even in this setup, so that you don't bust these. You don't have to change liners out, and you can run it smooth and consistently. So that's how to change liner. You need to know that. Like I said before, a MIG welder is like a weed eater. If you don't know how to mess with the wire, if you don't know how to do the little things with it, there's no point of you dealing with them, because you're gonna have to face that at some point. So you'll have to change the wire, you have to change the tip, you have to do some little things. The machine itself will run forever, but the consumables and these things, they'll have some errors, they'll have some faults. So you'll need to learn to troubleshoot and learn what to look for and to deal with those. Thanks for checking us out.